Hello guys, welcome back. I'll be reviewing some of the games that went down at the weekend, the match day 12 in the English Premier League, and also some extras from the La Liga and also from the Serie A. Firstly, I'll be talking about the Burnley versus Chelsea game. The Burnley versus Chelsea game was a game that started on a very slow note, but at the end of the day, Chelsea grew into the game, got the well-deserved 3 points away. You understand? Because Burnley, the tough more, is not an easy place for opponents because of the capacity of the stadium and because of the wideness of the stadium. So it was not easy for the boys, but at the end of the day, they got the well-deserved 3 points. And the standout player for me in that game was Andre Santos. He did fantastically well, and at the end of the day, he collected the well-deserved man of the match. He deputized very well for Caicedo that needed that rest. It was a well-deserved rest for Caicedo in that game. It shows that Chelsea depth now is getting very, very deep. Yeah, they have that player capacity that they can cover for themselves even while the players are not around, even while some of their players are absent. It's a very good one, and it's a well-deserved rest for him. Also, we were able to rest Reece James. I know that the substitution at halftime was not for injury. It was not for any precaution or maybe for injury purpose. It was for him to be rested against our midweek game in the Champions League against Barcelona. It's a very, very tough one, and it's going to be a very tough one, and it's going to be a very big game. I'm very, very sure a lot of those players are looking forward to it. Even James will have been so happy being rested in that game so that he doesn't get injured or something. Maresca, you did very well in this game. If you do well, we will praise you. And if you do otherwise, bro, you go collect. If you do otherwise, you go collect, bro. You go collect. No, they let our enemies, they mock us. Yes, we are second on the table like this. Please maintain it like that. We are not coming for the league. Just maintain the second. We know the chase league. Yeah. And the next game I'll be talking about is Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. I don't understand. Liverpool is just going down by the day. The last time Liverpool lost 3-0 at Anfield, I think is it 1960 something? Yeah. It's a very long time ago. I'm not sure in the Premier League era they have lost 3 goals at Anfield in a game. 3 goals in a game at Anfield. I'm not sure. I'm not, because I've searched it, I've looked at it. I was not able to find it. In the Premier League era, they've not. This kind of record is not too good for us and a slot, because at the end of the day, pressure will pile up. I think them winning the league last season, it was all written. That Premier League was all written Jurgen Klopp on it. Like Jurgen Klopp was all written on that Premier League win. Like it was all his model. It was all his model that won them the league. The style and is the habit of his players that won them the league. Now this season that Arne Slot wanted to try and tweak the formation or the system a little bit. They are struggling because most of the time they are always open at the back. Nobody is covering for the defense. That's why you see Van Dijk and Konate prone to error most of the time. They are not able to cover because most of the guys they are old, like Van Dijk and Konate. The two of them, they are not young anymore. They don't have the legs like that. Like the defensive midfield of that team, they are not doing anything. They all attack, and at the end of the day, there is no cover for in case we lose the ball. And before you know it, they are one-on-one with their defense, and they score them. And I don't know. I hope they can turn the corner anytime soon. But from an opposition fan perspective, I hope it continues. I hope it continues. So the next game I'll be talking about is the Newcastle versus Manchester City. Manchester City were not able to pass the St. James Park test. They lost 2-1 to Newcastle away, though they were away. So it might be understandable, but they failed to close the gap. They failed to close the gap with Arsenal. Arsenal is now leading them with 7 points, and they find themselves in 3rd position. And Chelsea has secured the 2nd position from them. It was a very nice game, and it was a very interesting one because Harvey Barnes was the star man of the game. He scored 2 goals, very brilliant goals. Though Donnarumma was supposed to be the star man of the game because he was saving everything in the first half. Everything that a well-deserved goal, he saved it, especially from Votemande. He saved. He had a very good game. If not for him, Man City would have lost maybe about 3, 4, 5 goals to 1. Yes. But at the end of the day, it was Newcastle's day, and it was Harvey Barnes' day. So Harvey Barnes took the shine of the game. Congratulations to Newcastle. The next game I'll be talking about is Arsenal versus Tottenham. Arsenal crushed Tottenham. Should I say Eze crushed Tottenham? Eze crushed Tottenham in that game because it was kind of a mystery, because he was supposed to be signed by Tottenham Hotspur, but at just the 11th hour, when the bid came for him from Arsenal, he just changed his mind and went to Arsenal. He said he didn't even think it twice, that since Arsenal is calling, he must answer their call. He went to Arsenal, and lo and behold, first game against Tottenham Hotspur that was supposed to be his team, he scored a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick. That was his first hat-trick, and that is the fourth hat-trick in the London derby. So Arsenal has already conquered Tottenham Hotspur in their London rivalry. There's nothing like we are a rival. They are babies to Arsenal, because every time they always collect. They every time collect woto from Arsenal. So it's a good one. Congratulations to Arsenal. They still keep their top of the table grip. They are still holding well on the top of the table. So let's see what happens, and let's see how the game unfolds in the next few weeks, because a lot of big games are coming ahead, especially their first game against Chelsea next week. Let's see how everything turns out. Maybe there will be a kind of reshuffling, or a kind of little differences, or little closing of the gap from Chelsea in that game. Yeah, we'll see. Though it's been a very long time that Chelsea beat them, but I hope Chelsea will be able to revive themselves this time around. And though Arsenal is they are in the form of their life, the best form that I have ever seen them in. You understand? But I don't know. Football is not won by mouth, and it's not won on paper. It is won in the game of 90 minutes. Let's see what happens next week. We'll be previewing that later. And the next game I'll be talking about is in the La Liga. The Barcelona game against Atletico Bilbao. Barcelona went back to their stadium. They went to their new Camp Stadium that was just rebuilt, and they have a very good game in that game. They won 4-0, and they put Bilbao to the sword. They came back victorious, and it was a very good one. Coming back to their stadium after 2 years, having that winning mentality, having that their home surreal to them, like the place that they can call their home now. Yes, now they play with peace of mind and everything. And at the end of the day, they closed the gap with Real Madrid to just 1 point, because Real Madrid too failed to win at Elche. They traveled to Elche later yesterday, and they drew the match 2-2 against Elche. And both of the goals that they scored, they were coming back. Elche scored first. Oisin equalized for them. Elche scored the second one before Mbappe scored late in the game in 84 minutes. So I don't know. I think Real Madrid is a bit struggling. You might think they are topping the table in La Liga, but I think they are struggling. I think they are struggling presently. So a good one for them in La Liga, and at least they close the gap now. So now everything is eating up in La Liga. Though it's always a two-horse race in that league. If it's not Real Madrid, it's with Barcelona. It's only once in a while that Atletico Madrid comes into the argument or into the discussion. So it's always a two-horse race. Let's see how it's ends at the end of the season. And other game that I'll be reviewing is the Inter Milan versus AC Milan game. Though I don't see home and away in that game. That game, I always believe the two of them are playing at home. They are playing in their stadium. But it's been like 6 games now that Inter Milan has not been able to overcome AC Milan. In that last 6 games, AC Milan has won 4, and they drew 2. Inter Milan, with their form, with everything, they've not been able to conquer AC Milan. Good one for AC Milan. They closed the gap from 5th position to 2nd, just 2 points behind AS Roma. Inter Milan and Napoli that started the season very well. They've been lackluster recently. They've not been playing very well. Now they are both 3rd and 4th on the league. AC turned themselves to a boogie team to Inter Milan, because in the last 6 games, Inter Milan has not been able to overcome them. Inter Milan has not won any of the games. They only draw 2, and AC Milan has won 4 of the remaining games. So I don't know. Good one to AC Milan. Let's see how their league finish at the end of the season. Do well to subscribe, like, and share. I will see you guys on the next one.